Hi everyone, it's Don. I hope you're having a great day. And today I decided I was going to find out what questions cruisers ask the most. So one of the places I went was TripAdvisor, and I looked at the top 5 questions asked on TripAdvisor. And I'm going to answer those questions right after this. The first question on TripAdvisor was, what is the best ship and best cruise? Well, that depends, right? It depends on what you're looking for. If you have 5 and 6 year old kids, you want stuff to keep them occupied. If you're 65, you might want a more sophisticated cruise. If you're somebody who likes adventure, you want all the bells and whistles that are on some of the big, large Royal Caribbean ships. There's no real best ship or best cruise line. They really do cater to particular audiences that they're looking for. Carnival is a little less expensive and tries to do a few of the things to keep to the younger crowd. You'll find much younger cruisers on Carnival than you will on Holland America, for example. If you want really big, traditional, old-fashioned cruising that you feel like you're back in the era of the golden days of cruising when it first started, you want cruise lines like Cunard and Holland America. If you're looking for adventure, like I said, Royal Caribbean with the big ships and the flow riders and the rock climbing walls, every cruise line has something for themselves. So you can't just say, what's the best ship? Because at one point I loved one type of ship, and eventually you change and like another type of ship. So yeah, I can't answer that one. That's up to you to answer. Number 2, is a cruise all inclusive? Well, short answer is yes, but the real answer is no. I don't know too many people that can go on a cruise and not spend extra money. So, for example, you'll upgrade at dining, spend money in the casino, buy drinks on board, shop while you're on board. There's all kinds of things. Shore excursions cost extra money. There are a ton of things to do that you will end up probably spending more money on. Now, you can get away with not doing it. If once you go on board, if you've prepaid your gratuities, if you drink only the regular coffees and regular juices and eat in only the main dining room and don't go shopping and don't go to any of the extra things that cost money, including shore excursions, if you just go out and go around by yourself, then the cruise is all inclusive. And on one of my cruises, besides the shore excursions and besides prepaying the gratuities, once I got on board, I spent nothing. I bought the drink package, but I ended up getting it for free later. So that's something, a whole other story. But I bought the drink package, and that was all I spent on board. I bought a soda package for $60. So you can get away with not spending as much as you think, but really, chances are you're going to spend some money when you're on a cruise. The third question most popular asked was, how do I even get started to pick a cruise? If you have to go to this, well, let's start off easy. Choose your destination. Where would you like to go to cruise? There's plenty of YouTube out there. There's Google. You can search all kinds of locations. You can go to cruise websites and check their itineraries. But if you really don't have any idea of what you want to do, this is probably a good time to perhaps reach out to a travel agent or a travel company, and they can help guide you into the area. They'll ask you questions like, how many people are going? Do you have kids? What kind of activities do you like to do? Are you more about relaxing? Are you more about activities? Have you ever been to some of these countries? All these kind of things, price point, etc., 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 and they will help guide you. Because if you really have no idea, it's really good to either do a ton of research ahead of time by yourself, and even then you might not get it all, or reach out to a travel agent. They can help guide you. Even if you don't end up using the travel agent, you can still get some suggestions from them. Number 4 is, what are the odds of an upgrade? Well, basically it depends. Is the cruise going to sell out? The cruise I'm looking at right now in September, a month ago, had a lot of cabins available. Suddenly, there's like 7 balconies left and about 18 inside cabins, and that's it that's left on that sailing. So they're not going to upgrade people on those ships because they're selling out. What sometimes happens is they will keep things like deluxe balconies available, and they'll make it kind of like a guaranteed cabin. So you can't book a deluxe balcony if you can't place it where you want on the ship. And so less people book those cabins because they know the balconies will be more popular because you get to choose where you want to be on the ship. So they'll sell a ton of balconies. Then about 7 to 8 months before the cruise, they'll open up those deluxe balconies and they'll start sending out some offers. Hey, you can upgrade your cabin for only this much and we'll move you to a deluxe balcony. People say, hey, yeah, you know what, it would have cost me $500 more, now it's only costing me $200, so they sign on for that, they move into a deluxe balcony, and now the cruise line can sell those popular balconies again because people are out of them. So that's kind of a trick that cruise lines use that way. As far as heading to the ship and saying, oh, by the way, you've been upgraded from an inside to a mini suite, that rarely happens. It does happen occasionally, but very, very rarely. And the 5th most popular question asked on TripAdvisor is, what is the most noisy locations on the ship? So right off the bat, let's go with anything on the lowest deck. If you're on the bottom deck of cabins, that's going to be the noisiest. You're going to possibly hear the engines, you're going to hear the staff, you're going to hear people shuffling like forklift machines down below. It's a lot more noisy on that lower deck. After that, you don't want to be near elevators as much as possible. And I don't necessarily mean the opening to an elevator, because really, other than maybe people coming back from a stage show or something along those lines, it doesn't really congest in that area very often. But what I mean is, say if you're going to an inside cabin, you don't want one of your walls to be on the back of an elevator, because you will hear that elevator going up and down all night long. So that is definitely a cabin to avoid. Another cabin to avoid is anything over the theater or anything under the pool areas or outdoor area activities, because although you may not hear like necessarily the pool or music, early in the morning when everything is quiet, when they're setting up the chase lounges on the decks, you can sometimes hear it on some ships right through the ceiling. And so the best possible place to be is not necessarily near an elevator with cabins on top of you and cabins underneath you. That is perfect. Other than that, everywhere on the ship is basically the same. So there you go. Those are the top 5 questions. Well, I sort of cheated on that. There is one question out there about how much drinks are. Well, again, that's one of those things that varies from cruise to cruise line, to sailings, to itineraries, to time of year. So I can't really say how much exactly a drink is going to be on a cruise, because they vary. They can go anywhere from $6.95 up to $20, and then even higher for bottles of wine. So there you go. But these are the 5 questions that I could answer on TripAdvisor. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You want to see more tips, more tricks, and more travel vlogs from around the world. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.